Armoy is a very important place, certainly to the Wains that are here, and I think it's important for them to know a wee bit about the history of where they're leaving at, and about their own home and their own language, because even though I work in the school, you maybe didn't get as much opportunity in the school to talk about the history of your own place. You're talking in schools about the history of Egypt and the history of Rome and all these other places in the world. Whenever I am in school, I hate to follow what they tell me to do, but whenever I'm here, it's me that makes the decisions, so I can do what I like. Daniel here, Danny here, Molly here.
I'm here in a yarn here with William McMullen. William, you are the architect, the organiser of everything here. Where actually are we?
Well, we are at Armoy Summer Scheme today at Lime Park outside Armoy. We've got nearly 75 Wains here today. And we've been here all week, and they have been doing lots of different activities, sports and craft activities, a bit of cookery, games, all different kinds of things, and hopefully they had a good time.
How do you actually devise the activities? I'm particularly interested in the history project.
I always like when the Wains come here, not for all just to be a kind of legging session. You like to do something where they're actually maybe getting something back out of it, learning back out of it. So I decided that I would do a history project this year at the summer scheme, not very long, and just a wee short kind of whistle-stop tour through the history of Armoy, and talk a bit about how important Armoy used to be in the history of the Kingdom of Dalriada, and sort of about how the Ulster-Scots language came, and bring it right up to the motorbikes, which are, the big thing in Armoy of the day. About 500 years later, England had taken over lots and lots of parts of Ireland, but some of the Irish were not very happy about this, and they decided we were going to kick up a dust, and the English thought, well, if you're going to kick up a dust, so are we. So they decided they would send lots and lots of people from Scotland, farmers, landowners, barons, all different kinds of people over to Ireland, and they would take over a little bit of land, and they would keep the Irish in check, keep them under the thumb, And this was known as the Plantation of Ulster. Lots of people travelled from Scotland to North Antrim, and that's where we get the language of Ulster-Scots from. Words like wisht and gulder and gowl and cowp, and phrases like as sure as an eye on a goat, or my favourite, keep a calm suck like a pig a ringin. Lots of families move from Scotland, so if you've got Mick in your name, who's got Mick in their name? Like McNeil, McIntyre, McCurdy, Lots of you. Lots of those names are Scottish names. They've come from Scotland. McMullen, my name, Originally, my family came from Scotland hundreds of years ago. They belonged to Clan Macmillan, and whenever they came over here, the name changed slightly to McMullen because the accent here, it fitted McMullen better than Macmillan.
Ready? Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go!
The activities are about fun as well as learning, and William had a great history talk, and they all really enjoyed it, and they want to hear more of that, which is nice to see that they want to hear more of their own learning, and that they can talk freely here. They didn't have to worry about speaking right because they're not in school. It's natural, so that's good.
And that helps the Ulster-Scots side of things.
Does indeed, aye.
One, what would the one for one be?
Yen.
Yen. Yen. Put them in the dung pile, pass them our air in there. I had been doing a wee bit of research, different activities you can do with Ulster-Scots, and then I had seen these ones where they do it with, it was in bits of paper, but paper's no use up here because it could have been wet, or it's very open up here, it's very windy. So I kind of thought to myself, what will be heavy that Disney fly away? So stains.
Listen, it's windy in Armoy on a good day.
Aye, it is. On a good day up here, it'll be windy. It could be as calm as you like in the village, and it'll still be windy up here. But I decided I went to the beach and got a wee of stains and wrote Ulster-Scots words on them, and then the English translations. I think the hardest thing, even when I was preparing it myself, you never really think about the way these words are spelt. And when you look at them when they're written down, you sort of think to yourself, Jakers, I never really thought that was the way you spelt clays, or that was the way you spelt hashter, or, you know, wampish, that kind of thing. It's funny seeing them written down.
Well, I think you're allowed a certain amount of latitude, especially when you're in charge of things, William.
I sort of made the decision. Somebody did say that's not how you spell that, and I says, well, it's how I spell it, so it's right.
But it was good. It was really good fun activity, and they got involved with it as much as they got involved with all the fun things that they've been doing throughout the week as well, which is good.
Blether, what does blether mean?
Oh.
If you blether.
Oh, is it talking rubbish?
Talking rubbish, yeah. So there should be one somewhere that says talking rubbish or something like that.
My nanny always says I blether.
Well, my granny says you're a blether and the ducks will get you. That's one of her sayings. It took them a wee while to get into the stains. I hate to say, when they sucked in first all, they sort of looked at the words and didn't really understand what they were. But once they started saying them and they started looking at it and thinking, right, how do I say that word? That was when it sort of clicked, and they were fit to match it up to what it meant then, and get them sorted out.
That language doesn't really fit in Dick and Dora. Biff and Chip aren't hashters.
No, Biff and Chip are no hashters. When they read them books in school, they'll not see any of them words, like cope and wampish and one thing and another. They'll not see them, so it's hard for them to see them words written down. Once they spoke them, that was when they got them what they meant. And I think quite a lot of them, because it is words that they say at home, I think they were all took that, you know, we were talking about this, and that this language was sort of being celebrated, because I think half time they're told not to say that at school, not to say that when they go to the house. You know, they're told to try and, you know, curtail that. But I think that they were sort of all took that, oh, actually, this is important. This language can be spoke. You know, what is a messy person?
Fitter.
Fitter's another one. There's a better one that means for fitter. Hashter's a messy person. Yeah. To endure something, you thole it. That's right. If somebody's useless, they are faveless. I would talk about a wild faveless body.
It is important, William.
It is, surely. I think it's well important for these Wains to learn a bit about their heritage, learn a bit about their culture and their language, because Ulster-Scots is such a big part of life in Armoy. I think it's well important that they get that opportunity to study it and understand it, and this is maybe the only place that they will get, you know, at the minute to see that heritage. So I think it's well important that we make that effort and get stuck into it. So thank you for listening so well to my whistle-stop tour of Armoy. Before...
That was more than 5 minutes. Yeah.
It probably was. I probably didn't keep to time. But, Jakers, oh Sam, I had 10,000 years to cover, son. More. I thought I'd done pretty well.